My name is Junie B. Jones. The B stands for Beatrice. Shit, I like Beatrice. I just like B, and that's all. B stands for something else too. B stands for B-A-B-Y. I'm only in kindergarten, but I don't know how to spell B-A-B-Y. That's because my mother told me she's gonna have one of those things. She and Daddy told me about it one night at dinner. It was a night we had stewed tomatoes, which I hate very much. Daddy and I have a surprise for you, Junie B, said Mother. And so then I got very happy inside. Because maybe I didn't even have to eat my stewy pureed tomatoes. Also, sometimes a surprise means a present. And presents are my very favorite thing in the whole wide world. I bounced up and down on my chair. What is it? Is it all wrapped up? I don't see it, I said, very excited. Then I looked under the table because maybe the surprise was hiding down there with a red ribbon on top of it. Mother and Daddy smiled at each other. Then Mother held my hand. Junie B, how would you like to have a little baby brother or sister? She said. I made my shoulders go up and down. I don't know. Maybe, I told her. Then I looked under my chair. Guess what? I said. I can't find that silly woolly present anywhere. Mother made me sit up. Then she and my daddy said some more stuff about a baby. The baby will be yours too, Junie B, Daddy said. Just think, you'll have your very own little brother or sister to play with. Won't that be fun? I did my shoulders up and down again. I don't know. Maybe, I said. Then I got down from my chair and ran into the living room. Bad news, fellas, I hollered very loud. This present isn't in this dumb bunny room either. Mother and Daddy came into the living room. They didn't look that smiley anymore. Daddy took a big breath. There is no present, Junie B. He never said we had a present. He said we had a surprise, remember? Then Mother sat down next to me. The surprise is that I'm gonna have a baby, Junie B. In a few months, you're gonna have a little baby brother or sister. You get what I'm saying, eh? Just then, I folded my arms and made a grumpy face, because all of a sudden, I got it. That's why. You didn't give me a darn thing, did you? I said, very gravely. Mother looked angry at me. I give up, she said. Then she went back into the kitchen. Daddy said that I owed her apology. Apology is when I have to say the words, I'm sorry. Yeah, but she owes me an apology too, I said, because a baby isn't a very good surprise. I made a wrinkly nose. Babies smell like pee. I explained. I spelled one at my friend Grace's house. It had some spit up on its front. And so I held my nose and hollered, pee. What a stink bomb. And then that Grace made me go home. After I finished my story, Daddy went into the kitchen to talk to Mother. Then Mother called me in there. And she said, if the baby smells like a stink bomb, she will buy me my very own air freshener. And I can spray the can all by myself, except not on that P.U. baby. I would like the one that smells like fresh Carolina pine forest, I said. Then me and Mother hugged, and I sat back down at the table after I finished eating all my dinner, except not my stewy pewy tomatoes. And so guess what? No dessert. That's what. Mother and Daddy fixed up a room for the new baby. It's called the nursery. Except I don't know why, because the baby isn't a nurse, of course. The baby's room used to be the guest room. That's where all our guests used to sleep. Only we never had much guests. And so now if we get some, they'll have to sleep on a table or something. The baby's room has new stuff in it. That's because Mother and Daddy went shopping at the new baby store. They bought a new baby dresser with green and yellow knobs on it, and a new baby lamp with a giraffe on the lampshade, and also a new rocking chair for when the baby cries and you can't shut it up. And there's a new baby crib, too. A crib is a bed with bars on the side of it. It's kind of like a cage at the zoo, except with the crib. You can put your hand through the bars, and the baby won't pull you in and kill you. And guess what else is in the nursery? Wallpaper, that's what. The jungle kind. With pictures of elephants and lions and a big, fat hippopotamus something. And there's monkeys, too, which are my favorite jungle guys in the whole wide world. Mother and Daddy pasted on the wallpaper together. Me and my dog Tickler were watching them. This wallpaper looks very cute in here, I told them. I would like some of it in my room, too, I think. Okay, I said. Can I? Can I? We'll see, said Daddy. We'll see is another word for no. Yeah, only that's not fair, I said, 'cause the baby gets all new junk, and I have all old junk. Poor Junie B, said Mother, very teasing. Then she bended down and tried to hug me, only she couldn't do it very good because of her big fat stomach, which is where the stupid baby is. I don't think I'm gonna like this dumb baby, I said. Mother stopped hugging me. Don't say that, Junie B. Of course you will, she said. Of course I won't, I talked back, because it won't even let me hug you very good. And anyway, I don't even know its stupid, dumb name. Then Mother sat down in the new rocking chair, and she tried to put me on her lap, only I wouldn't fit, so she just holded my hand. That's because Daddy and I haven't picked a name for the baby yet, she explained. We want a name that's a little bit different. You know, something cute, like Junie B. Jones. A name that people will remember. And so I thought very hard. And then I clapped my hands together real loud. Hey, I know one, I said, very excited. It's the cafeteria lady at my school, and her name is Mrs. Gutsman. Well, I frowned a little bit, and so maybe she didn't hear me, I think. Mrs. Gutsman, I hollered. That's a cute name, don't you think? And I remembered it, too, even after I only heard it that one time. Mrs. Gutsman sticked right in my head. Mother took a big breath. Yes, honey, but I'm not sure that Mrs. Gutsman is a good name for a tiny baby. And so then I scrunched my face up, and I thought all over again. How about Teeny, I said. Teeny would be good. Mother smiled. Well, Teeny might be cute while the baby was little, but what we call him when he grows up? Big Teeny, I called out, very happy. Then Mother said, we'll see, which means no Big Teeny. After that, I didn't feel so happy anymore. When's this dumb baby gonna get here anyway? Mother frowned again. Baby's not a dumb bunny, Junie B, she said, and it will be here very soon. So I think you'd better start getting used to the idea. Then her and Daddy began pasting wallpaper again, and so I opened the new baby dresser with the green and yellow knobs, and I looked at the new baby clothes. The baby pajamas were very weensy, and the baby socks wouldn't even fit on my big piggy toe. I'm gonna be the boss of this baby, I said to Tickle, 'cause I'm the biggest, that's why. Daddy snapped his fingers at me. That's enough of that kind of talk, Missy, he said. Missy's my name when I'm in trouble. After that, him and Mother went to the kitchen to get some more paste, and so I looked down the hall to make sure he was gone. Yeah, only I'm still gonna be the boss of it, I whispered. So there. Yesterday, a very wonderful thing happened, and it's called I had pie for dinner. Just pie, and that's all. That's because my mother went to the hospital to have the baby, and Daddy and Grandpa Miller went with her. And so me and my grandpa got to stay at his house all by ourselves, and no one even babysitted us. And guess what? Grandpa smoked a real live cigar right inside the house. And Grandma didn't yell, "Go outside with that thing, Frank." After that, my grandpa gave me a piggyback ride, and he let me put on Grandma Miller's new hat with a long brown feather. Also, I got to walk in a red high heels. Only then, I fell down in the kitchen, and so I quick to the mouth. Hey, I can crack my head open in these dumb things, I said very loud. After that, I opened up the refrigerator because I was hungry from playing. That's why. Hey, guess what? There's a big fat lemon pie in here, Frank, I hollered. And so then Grandpa Miller got down to place, and then me and him ate the big fat lemon pie for our dinner. Just pie, and that's all. And we're not even going to get into trouble, because we're going to tell Grandma that our cat ate it. Here's another very funny thing. I got to sleep in Grandpa Miller's guest room. First, I put on my PJs with feeding them. Then my grandpa watched me brush my new front tooth, and he tucked me into his big guest bed. Sweet dreams, Junie B, he said, except for then, I got a little bit of scared in me. Yeah, only guess what, Grandpa said, it's very dark in this big room, so there might be hidey things in there. Grandpa looked all around the room, and also in the closet. Nope, no hidey things in here, he said. After that, he left on the hall light for me, so my imagination wouldn't run wild. Said, I still didn't sleep that good, because there was a drooly guy with claws under my bed, I think. And so this morning, my eyes felt very sagging. Only then, I sniffed something that woke them right up. And its name was Delicious Waffles. Grandma Miller cooked them for me, and he let me pour on my own syrup, and he didn't yell, whoa, whoa, whoa. After that, me and him played until it was time for kindergarten. Except before I left, the funnest thing of all happened. My Grandma Miller came home, and she said that Mother had a baby, and it was the boy kind. Then me and her and my grandpa all did a big giant hug, and Grandma Miller picked me up, and she swung me in the air. You're just gonna love him, Junie B, she said. Your new brother is the cutest little monkey I've ever seen. And my eyes got very wide. He is? Really? I said. Grandma Miller put me down. Then she started talking to my grandpa. Wait till you see him, Frank, she said. He's got the longest little fingers and toes. I tugged on her dress. How long, Grandma? I said. Longer than mine? But Grandma just kept on talking. And his hair, Frank, my word, he's got oodles and oodles of thick black hair. I pulled on Grandma's arm. How come, Grandma? How come he's got hair? I asked. I thought little babies were supposed to be bald ears, but still my grandma didn't answer me. And he's big, too, Frank. He's much bigger than any of the other babies in the hospital, and you should feel how tightly he grabs your finger when you... Just then, I stamped my foot very hard. Hey, I want some answers down here, Helen. He's my baby, too, you know. Grandma Miller frowned at me, because I'm not supposed to call her Helen, I think. Sorry, I said kind of quiet. Then Grandma Miller bent down next to me, and so I didn't have to yell anymore. Are you telling me the truth, Grandma? I said, is my brother really the cutest little monkey you ever saw? For really and honest and truly? Then my Grandma Miller hugged me very tight. Yes, little girl, she whispered in my ear, for really and honest and truly. After that, she picked me up again, and me and her twirled all around the kitchen. My room in kindergarten is called Room 9. I have my two best friends in that place. One of them has the name of Lucille. Lucille sits right exactly next to me. She has a red chair and also little red fingernails, which are very glossy. My other bestest friend is named Grace. Me and Aunt Grace sit together on the school bus. Except for not today we didn't. Because today Grandpa Miller drove me. Then he walked to room 9 with me. And he waved at my teacher. Her name is Mrs. She has another name too, but I just like Mrs. and that's all. When I first walked into my room, Lucille was looking at Aunt Grace's brand new shoes, and their name was Pink High Tops. Hey, Grace, those new shoes look very beautiful on you, I said. But that dumb Grace didn't even say thank you to me. Grace is angry at you, said Lucille. She said that she rode the bus today, and you weren't even there to save her a seat, and she had to sit next to an icky kid. Right, Grace? Grace bobbed her head up and down. Yes, only I couldn't help it, Grace, I said. That's because I stayed at my Grandpa Miller's all night, and there's no bus at that place. And so he had to drive me here today. Then I tried to hold Grace's hand, only she quick pulled it away. That's not very nice of you, Grace, I said. It's guess what? I'm not going to tell you my special secret. That's when that Grace called me a poopy head. Lucille held my hand. I don't think you're a poopy head, Junie B, she said, and so you can tell me your special secret. I won't tell anybody, not even that Grace. That's when that Grace kicked Lucille in the leg, and so Lucille pushed her down, and Mrs. had to come pull them off each other. I raised my hand, very polite. I wasn't involved, so I said to Mrs. After that, we had to sit down and do some work. It was called printing our numbers. Only I couldn't do mine that good, because Lucille kept on talking to me, that's why. Come on, Junie B, she said in a whispering voice. Tell me your special secret. I won't tell, I promise. Yes, only I can't, Lucille, I said, because me no talking to your neighbor, remember? Then Mrs. snapped her fingers at me. See, Lucille, I told you, no talking to your neighbor. I hollered. Now I got snapped at. Just then, a boy named Jim said shush to me. Shush yourself, you big fat Jim, I said. Back. After that, Mrs. stood next to me till I finished my work. Then I got all done, and she collected it. That made me happy inside, because guess what comes after work? Something very fun, that's what. And its name is show and tell. Mrs. stood next to her desk. Who has something interesting to share with the class today, she said. Then my heart got very pumpy because I had the most special secret in the whole wide world. I raised my head and way high in the air. Ooh, ooh, I hollered real loud. Me, me, me. Mrs. shook her head at me because I'm not supposed to go, ooh, ooh, me, me. She called on William. He's a crybaby boy in my class. I can beat him up, I think. William, said Mrs., since you first raised your hand so politely, you may go first. And so then William carried a paper bag to the front of the room, and he took out a jar of 2 dead crickets. Except for William didn't know they were dead. He just thought that they were sleeping. Jump, Happy. Jump, Russell. Jump, Happy. Jump, Russell, said William. Then he tapped on the glass. Hey, wake up in there, he said. After that, William started shaking the jar all over the place, and he wouldn't stop. Wake up, I said, he shouted. Then Hoppy and Russell started falling all apart, and Mrs. had to take the jar away. That's when William started to cry, and he had to go to the nurse's office to lie down. And so then I raised my hand way high in the air again, because guess what? My show and tell was way better than 2 dead crickets. Mrs. called my name. Junie B, would you like to go next? She asked. Then I jumped right up, and I ran speedy fast to the front of the room. Guess what? I said, very excited. Last night, my mother had a baby, and it's the boy kind. Mrs. clapped her hands. Junie B. Jones has a new little brother, Everyone, she said, isn't that wonderful? And all the room 9 clapped too. Yes, only haven't even heard the bestest part yet, I said very loud, because guess what else? He's a monkey. That's what else. My new brother is a real live baby monkey. Mrs. got a funny look on her face, and she squinted her eyes very tiny. And so maybe she didn't hear me or something, I think. I said, I've got a monkey brother, I shouted real loud. Then that mean Jim jumped right up from his desk, and he hollered, liar, liar, pants on fire. No, they are not on fire, you big fat Jim, I said back. I do too have a monkey brother. You can ask my grandma Miller if you don't believe me. Mrs. raised her eyebrows way high on her head. Your grandmother told you that your brother is a monkey? She asked me. Yes, I said. She told me he has long fingers and long toes and lots of black fur all over himself. After that, Mrs. kept on looking and looking at me. Then she said it was time for me to sit down. Yeah, only I'm not done telling the children about my monkey brother yet, I explained. 'Cause guess what else? His wallpaper has pictures of his jungle friends on it, and his bed has bars on the side, but I'm going to teach him not to bite or kill people. Then this boy named Ricardo, who has cute freckles on his face, said, monkeys are cool to me. I know they're cool, Ricardo, I said, and guess what else? Maybe I can bring him to school on Pets Day. Then Ricardo smiled at me, and so he might be my boyfriend, I think. Except for there's a boy in room 8 who already loves me. Just then, Mrs. stood up and pointed at me. That's enough, Junie B, she said. I want you to sit down right now. You and I will talk about this monkey business later. And so that made me giggle, because monkey business is a funny word, I think. Then I waved goodbye to my new boyfriend, Ricardo, and I skipped back to my seat. Recess is my best subject. I learned it my first week at school. Recess is when you go outside and you run off your steam. Then, when you come in, you can sit still better and you don't have ants in your pants. At recess, me and Lucille and that Grace play horses together. I'm Brownie, Lucille is Blackie, and that Grace is Yellowy. I'm Brownie, I hollered as soon as I got outside. I don't want to play horses today, said Lucille. I want to know some more about your monkey brother. Me too, said that Grace. Then Lucille pushed that Grace out of the way, and she whispered a secret in my ear. If you let me be the first one to see him, I'll let you wear my new locket, she said. Yeah, only guess what, Lucille, I said. I don't even know what a dumb locket is. And so then Lucille showed me her locket. It was a little gold heart on a chain. Isn't it beautiful, she said. My Nana gave it to me for my birthday. Then she opened up the little heart, and there was a little bitty picture inside of that thing. Hey, there's a teeny head in there, I said, very excited. I know, said Lucille, that's my Nana. See ya? I squinted very hard at the little picture. Your Nana is a shrimpy, Lucille, I said. After that, Lucille closed the locket, and she gave it to me. Now, I'm your best friend, right, Junie B, she said, and so I can be the first one to see your monkey brother. Just then, that Grace stomped her foot very hard. No, you cannot, Lucille, she hollered. I'm her best friend, 'cause me and her ride the bus together, and so I get to see her monkey brother first. Right, Junie? Right? Right? I made my shoulders go up and down. I don't know, Grace, I said, 'cause Lucille just gave me this locket with the teeny Nana, and so that means she gets to go first, I think. That Grace stomped her foot again. She made a mad face at me. Pooey, she said, except for just then, I got a very great idea. Hey, guess what, Grace? I said, very excited. since Lucille gave me something beautiful, now you can give me something beautiful too. So that would be very fair to me, I think. Then that Grace started smiling, and she took off her sparkling new ring. Here, she said, I got it out of cereal this morning. See how shiny the stone is? That's because it's a real, genuine, fake plastic diamond. Then she put some breath on it, and she shined it on her sleeve for me. Ooh, I said, I love this thing, Grace. I know, she said, and so now I get to see your monkey brother first, right, Junie B? Right? After that, I had to think a little bit. Yeah, only here's the trouble, Grace. I said, now I have one thing from you and one thing from Lucille, and so it's a tie. Then Lucille quick took off her red sweater with a Scotty dog on it, and she tied it around my waist. Here, she said, now I've given you two things, and so I'm still the winner. Oh, no, you're not, hollered that Grace, because I'm going to give Junie B my snack ticket for today, and so she can have my cookies and milk. Oh, yeah, said Lucille. Well, then, I'm going to give her my snack ticket, too, and so I'm still the winner. After that, Grace looked all over herself. Well, that's not fair, she said, because I don't have anything else to give her. And so I looked all over her, too. And then I jumped up and down again. Yes, you do, Grace, I said. You do, too, have something else to give me. And their name is your new pink high tops. That Grace standing at her feet. She looked very sad. Yeah, only this is the first time I ever wore these, she said real quiet. And so I patted her so she would feel better. I know, Grace, I explained nicely, but if you don't give them to me, then you won't be able to see my monkey brother. And so then me and that Grace sat down in the grass, and she took off her new pink shoes, and she gave them to me. Thank you, Grace, I said politely. Then I stood up. Okay, your turn, I said to Lucille. Only too bad for me, because just then the stupid bell rang. I wore my brand new things back to room 9. They looked very beautiful on me, except my new pink high tops were too big, and my feet was very sliding around in there. Before I sat down, I looked at Lucille's red chair. Then I tapped on her. I'm sorry, Lucille, I said, but red is my favorite color, and so I would like that chair of yours, I think. Lucille looked very upset at me. But red is my favorite color, too, Junie B. I patted her. I know, Lucille, I said nicely, but you still must give it to me. It's the rules. And so she did. Now I'm the winner for sure, aren't I? She asked. I made my shoulders go up and down. I don't know, Lucille, I said. That Grace said she might have some cash in her purse. After that, Mrs. passed out construction paper, and we cut out autumn leaves for our bulletin board. Autumn is the school word for fall. We sprinkled our leaves with shiny glitter, and I sprinkled glitter in my hair, and I pasted some to my eyebrows. Then Mrs. confiscated my shiny glitter jar. Confiscate is the school word for yanked it right out of my hand. Just then, Miss Gutzman knocked on our door, and she came into the room with our milk and cookies. Hooray! Hooray for Mrs. Gutzman! I shouted at her. Guess what, Mrs. Gutzman? I get 3 snacks today. See, I have 3 snack tickets. Mrs. walked over to my chair. She stared down at me. How did you get 2 extra tickets, Junie B? She asked. Did you find them on the playground? Then she took my 2 extra tickets away, and she held them way high in the air. Did anyone lose their snack tickets today? She said to the class. No, I hollered. Those are my tickets. Lucille and Grace gave them to me. Mrs. raised her eyebrows. Lucille, did you give Junie B your snack ticket? She asked. Yes, said Lucille, that's because she made me. No, I did not, you dumb Lucille, I said. I did not make you. Mrs. said, be quiet, me. She folded her arms. Grace, did you give your snack ticket to Junie B too? Then Grace started to cry because she thought she was in trouble. Mrs. tapped her foot. Please come get your snack ticket, Grace, she said. And so then that Grace walked to my table in just her socks, and Mrs. made squinty eyes at her feet. Where are your shoes, Grace? She asked. That's when big fat baby Grace started crying very hard, and she pointed at her shoes. Mrs. peeped under my table. Junie B. Jones, she hollered. Why are you wearing Grace's shoes? Mrs. sounded dangerous. Because, I said, kind of scared. Because why, said Mrs. Because it's the rules, I explained. Then Mrs. bended down very close to my ear. What rules? The rules for who gets to be the first to see my monkey brother, I said. Mrs. rolled her eyes way back in her head. Put your own shoes back on and come with me, young lady, she said. Then me and her walked into the hall together, and she made me tell her what happened on the playground. After that, I had to give Lucille back the locket and the sweater with the Scotty dog on it, and I had to give Grace back the real, genuine, fake ring from cereal. Then Mrs. wrote a note. She said for me to take it to the office. The office is where the boss of the school is. His name is Principal. Yes, I don't think I would like to go down there today, I said, or else my mother might get mad at me. Mrs. tapped her foot. Then she took hold of my hand. Let's go, young lady. March, she said. And so then me and her marched to the office. March is a school word for pulled me way too fast. The school office is a scary place. It has loud, ringing phones and a typing lady who was a stranger and a row of chairs where bad kids sit. Mrs. plopped me in a blue one. Wait here, she said. Yeah, only I'm not bad, I whispered to just myself. Then I put my sweater on my head so nobody would see me in the bad kid's chair. After that, I peeked down my long sweat sleeve, and I saw Mrs. out of my handhole. She was knocking on Principal's door. Then she went in there, and my heart felt very pumpy because she was tattletelling on me. I think after a while she came out again. Principal came with her. Principal has a baldy head which looks like rubber. Also, he has big hands and heavy shoes and a suit made of black. Could I see you in my office for a minute, Junie B? He said. And so then I had to go in there all by myself, and I sat in a big wood chair, and Principal made me take the sweater off my head. So what's this all about? He said. Why do you think your teacher brought you down here today? Because, I said very quiet. Because why? Said Principal. Because that Grace shot off her big fat mouth, I explained. Then Principal folded his arms, and he said for me to start at the beginning. And so I did. First, I told him about how I spent the night at my grandpa's house. We had delicious waffles for breakfast, I said, and I had 5 of them. Only my grandpa didn't know where I put them all, except I put them way in here. Then I opened my mouth and showed Principal where my waffles went. After that, I told him how my grandma Miller came home from the hospital, and she told me that I had a monkey brother, for really and honest and truly. So then I told the children I'd show and tell, I said, and at recess, Lucille and that Grace started giving me lots of pretty stuff because they wanted to be the first to see him. Except too bad for me, I said, because when we came inside, Mrs. found out about the snack tickets, and then that dumb Grace shot off a big fat mouth about her shoes. So I got marched down here, and I had to sit in the bad kid's chair. Then I smoothed my skirt at the end, I said nicely. Principal rubbed his head. That looks like rubber. Junie B, maybe we should go back to when your grandmother came home from the hospital. can you remember exactly what she said about your brother being a monkey? I scrunched my eyes real tight to remember. Yes, I said, Grandma Miller said he was the cutest little monkey she ever saw. Then Principal closed his eyes. Ah, he said kind of quiet, now I get it. After that, he smiled a little bit. You see, Junie B, when your grandmother called your brother a little monkey, she didn't mean he was a real little monkey. She just meant he was, well, cute. I know he's cute, he said. That's because all monkeys are cute. Except for, I don't like the big kind that can kill you. Principal shook his head. No, Junie B, that's not what I mean. I mean, your brother isn't really a monkey at all. He's just a little baby boy. I made a frowny face. No, he's not a little baby boy, I told him. He's a real live baby monkey with black hairy fur and long fingers and toes. You can ask my grandma Miller if you don't believe me. And so, guess what Principal did then? He called her, that's what. He called Grandma Miller right up on the phone. And then he talked to her. And then I talked to her too. Hey, Grandma, I said very shouty. Guess what just happened down here? Principal said that my baby brother isn't a real live monkey. Only he is. 'Cause you told me that, remember? You said he was a monkey. For really and honest and truly. Then Grandma Miller said she was very sorry, but she didn't mean he was a real monkey. She just meant he was cute, just like Principal explained to me. So then I felt very droopy inside. Yeah, only what about all of his black hair and his long fingers and toes? I said. And what about his bed that looks like a cage and a wallpaper with the jungle friends on it? But Grandma Miller kept on saying that my new baby brother was just a regular cute bear. And so finally, I didn't want to talk to her anymore, and I hanged up the phone. Then I bent my head way down, and my eyes got a little bit of wet in them. Darn it, I said very quiet. After that, Principal gave me a tissue, and he said, I'm sorry. And then he held my hand, and me